All right, we are live. This will be Ramble 3 on my video, and I believe Ramble 3 on my guest's channel as well. Is that right? You
That
want to?
is the third one, yeah.
Okay. Who are you? I didn't
I'm
introduce yourself. I didn't introduce you.
I'm just not gonna say. Uh, no, my name's Loug. Good friends of Jukes, and we decided to do a Ramble together kind of thing. We have, I guess, a pretty similar passion for Ironman, so there's a lot to talk about. So yeah, we're happy to be doing this.
Yeah, he and I have both been posting a couple of the more Ramble style videos to YouTube recently, so figured it made sense. We play the game in a pretty similar manner. We talk quite a bit about the game, so it made sense to hop on here and give you guys a little bit of variety. You don't just have to listen to my boring voice. You can hear the attractive voice of my co-host.
I think your voice is pretty attractive, dude. I put it in the background sometimes.
Well, thank you.
Anyways,
Yeah. So as far as what we're going to be talking about in this video, we're going to be talking about for Iron Man how we value gold in game. And I guess just to flesh that idea out very briefly before we jump into it, talking about how you value gold, especially for Iron Men, is a lot more than strictly activities that give you alkables. Oftentimes, it comes down to skills like your Bible skills, Slayer, um, various things like that, skills that use runes, anything like that has some sort of cost associated with. You can often break down activities by what is worth or not worth based on the amount of gold it requires to save you X amount of time. So that's, I guess, at a high level, what we're talking about when we talk about the value of gold in Iron Man mode. So
yeah.
we have a couple of points we wanted to hit on. Hopefully, we'll get some discussion going. I guess I'll turn it over to Luke first with the first one, which is how do you personally value GP? And the sub point there's like the strictly EHP method where you break every method in the game down by its EHP rate and how much gold it generates and calculate it from that, or do you use more of a personal algorithm?
Um, for me personally, I think I base it very much on a personal level. I usually don't play. I'm not much of a person to play for a very EHP based approach to things. Recently, I've been kind of going for a top page rank on the Ironman high scores, and it's just a very like fast XP game, really, which is has for me has just been kind of uh, thieving, Wintertod, and banked XP kind of thing, and Slayer, I guess. And all of those are aside from Slayer. Slayer is quite a bit of EHP, but the other ones are less EHP, just more DMP kind of fast XP overall. Um, so I guess if you take that for like a example, um, I'm definitely not one of the most EHP centered type people. So going back to the thought of money and how I value it, I really do value it based on kind of how obviously I determine which methods I like and how much money they kind of take to do each of them. We're going to get into a couple more specific examples later on too. But like one right off the bat is like doing like mahoganies over teaks, for example. I can pretty sure everyone can agree that myth capes fucking suck.
Agreed.
Um,
Yeah.
it's pretty much a notorious like thought across the Ironman community. But there's some people who are just happy to like suck it up and do it. For me, like I am definitely happy to suck it up and do it, but because I personally enjoy tables so much more, I'm happy to like dump the little extra GP into it. So I guess that's just one example of like how I personally would value it. Um, yeah, do you have anything to like add to that? Like, is you have a similar mindset?
Yeah, I do. I think the biggest area where I guess diverge from the strictly EHP mindset for valuing GP is that I don't plan to do melee heavy Slayer. I know Iron Man Slayer, the quote unquote efficient method for it is centered around things like the melee Necreals with Chali, melee Smoke Devils, I believe melee
Yeah,
Czars as well, things like that. Personally,
they
I
make a
don't
lot of money. doing like melee next, for example.
Yeah, you do, and it doesn't. Yeah, there's almost no input cost to it. So since I don't really value melee XP, given that I'll always be able to have more zero time opportunities for melees than I'll actually have to play the game in general, I don't plan to do that. So I expect my Slayer to be a good bit more expensive than whatever strictly EHP would dictate. So as a result, I'm always looking for other places I can save money, even if it costs me somewhat in a strictly efficient perspective. I know we're going to talk a little later on about like things like off meta things we might do to save money, but I'm in general a big fan of that. I'd always rather have extra money in hand to be more greedy, especially with Slayer. Like being able to do things like Barrage Blood Velds, Barrage Zars, things like that, guilt free. Having the extra money to do that just makes the game more enjoyable for me. So I consider that worthwhile.
Yeah, we have such a similar play style. Like, I actually don't know about your account. Though. Do you melee forecast when you have tasks, or do you range?
I
Do you have a
do. I do not have a Dragon Hunter crossbow, so I've done strictly melee.
gotcha? So that'll like eat into your, I guess your quote unquote zero time like melee that you're able to do a little bit.
Yeah, it will. I stopped. I'm not on my main right now. I'm recording the video on my free to play Ultimate Iron Man. We don't have to talk. We don't have to talk about that. But I would show the attack XP. I basically just dead cold stopped zoning attack at about 150 mil, and I'll
Gotcha.
probably zone its strength up to a similar point. I'm leaving myself about 50 mil between Vorkath and Dragon tasks to
Yeah,
finish
it
off.
adds up.
It does.
I even yeah, and I don't want to stray far away from our topic, which is GP and money. But yeah, same thing for me. Just I locked in my 200 mil rank of attack and got rank 8, and I'm happy I did it because I'm not maybe I don't consider myself a super long term uh, player, but at the same time, I was happy to get the rank kind of thing. But just the fact that how much Slayer I plan on doing, and I've even done since, like, man, I would probably be easy at like 220, 230 mil attack already just by like lance tasks and stuff.
Yeah, agreed. There's to be honest, the idea of locking in like a top like front page top 50 something like that for melees is appealing. I personally did. Um, I did 200 mil fire making, even though I don't believe that's efficient. It's efficient to get it through the axes because I had a pipe dream at one point of getting a top 100 permanent rank in each skill. I
Yeah,
I haven't thought about that too much since, mostly because I'm pretty sure the window is closing or already closed on thieving, which I
it's
haven't
not
done.
actually. I will finish. I'm 150 mil. I'll finish it around low 70s or high 60s, I think.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah.
With the risk of getting off topic, I might actually get back on thieving a little bit. I've barely touched it post max. Uh,
Yeah.
the next thing I had on our list to talk about, which really I guess there's two separate questions for this, and the first one of which will be, in a general sense, we don't have to get into specific skills yet. Do you see the value of GP increasing or decreasing in the coming years for Ironman?
Um, I guess now is a good time to talk about it as any. We literally just on, I guess it was yesterday, Thursday, we had the death rework,
Mm-hmm.
and that I think changed hugely the value of Ironman GP. Um,
In what way?
it made it, I think, for us valued more because now we can. Well, okay, maybe it didn't value it more. It made it less valuable because it's easier to come by. Because now all the dupe items and things that Iron Man get throughout their whatever barrows, God Wars, raids, whatever you do, really anything that's over 10k GP you can put in the coffer. So unfortunately, our big stacks of things like whatever gold bars that we make from smithing we can't use because each individual item in there isn't worth over 10k.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but things that are over 10k, like say you got an extra dexterous prayer scroll or like an Avernic hilt or something like that doing raids, you chuck that in there. That now pays for every single one of your deaths, and that includes deaths at uh, Vorkath, which everyone knows. Like, let's be honest, we all die a ton at Vorkath.
Yeah, I was just telling I was telling Loug before we started. I actually turned off my like death screenshots because of Warcraft. I had like 60 or 70 in the folder. I'm like, I can't be asked anymore.
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure I've spent like a solid green cash stack at Vorkath
Yeah.
at least. Um, but now that comes out of Ironman dupes, so honestly, that was a huge update. And the fact that Ironmen are actually given a grace percentage of 50% off for the payments.
Hmm.
I don't think that affects Vorkath, so I think Vorkath is still 100k. But for other deaths, the whatever, I don't agree with it, but Ironmen get 50% off, I guess, whatever their death piles are worth when they go to claim their items. So I think that long term, if you plan to do 30k Vorkath or whatever your kind of long term Vorkath goal is set to, in a long term 200 mil mindset,
Hmm.
that's gonna save you a shit ton of money.
It actually is
Because
significant. Yeah.
let's be honest, say you have a task of 150 every time, so that's what 2,000 tasks,
Hmm.
and you die. Let's be generous. Let's say you die like 5 times a task. That's 10k deaths. Yeah, that's a lot, dude.
Yeah. No, for
That's
sure.
a lot of money.
Yeah, I for one am excited. I'm being unlike you. I'm not a big PVMer. I've haven't done any TOB. I did enough raids to get my Kodai and then I dipped. So I don't have many PVM dupes. But even like right now, like if I get a dupe like skeletal visage, like that's gonna cover a career's worth of deaths of Warcath. So saving
Yeah,
myself however much just straight GP that is extremely convenient.
legit. I don't have even one skeletal village, unfortunately, but I do have more of a like a PVM kind of bank, so I have a ton of other dupes that I can just chuck. And I plan on going back and doing some more like chambers and stuff, so I expect there to be hella arcane scrolls to throw in there.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, me and
So
I wanted to make this point as well, and we'll see where this goes. I know when mains have talked about the value of GP, one thing that's big for them is that in general is the game gets faster, both in terms of like players discovering faster ways to do things and the game itself being changed to be made faster.
as GP gets less valuable, you mean?
Yeah, because they have less and
Yeah.
less time to play the alts to make the money. Whereas for
Yeah.
irons, GP isn't passive. Like other than maybe
No.
like Celestry, you could call that passive, which I don't even know if that's efficient to do. But for the most part, our GP, both sources and costs, are tied to only a couple skills. So unless those skills in particular get touched, I don't see a big swing in the value of GP. I guess, a few potential updates that might really change the value of GP. One, if Dale gets buffed again, in such a way that it becomes significantly better than like one, it becomes not worth to use it at ZMI, which I think currently it's about the same ZMI versus Lavas. Is that right? Maybe like
Uh,
very slightly Lava favored.
very close. I believe Lava's is 66.3, and I think ZMI is 64.9 or 64.7.
Okay,
Effective RC an hour.
yeah, that sounds about right. But if ZM or if runecrafting meta shifted so that Lavas became meta, you're losing GP, or at least a potential source of GP from ZMI or Zaya
Yeah.
if you do Zaya. I
That
think.
that those
Go
calcs
ahead.
are including GP, by the way.
Oh, it
Like
is.
the GP you actually save uh from ZMI. But I mean, you have to be very efficient, like doing lavas. Like you can get brain dead, for lack of a better word, EHP at ZMI, but you have to be very efficient,
Yeah, if
getting
those are,
like
I assume those are
120
Higer.
hours.
I assume those are Higer's numbers, and he pretty much
Yeah,
uses close to tick perfect for everything, which
yeah.
isn't wrong, but it is what it is. I think so. I guess then. So, what other skills do we have that cost money? We have construction, which I don't know if I see teak or the myth hangers being replaced. I think if
No,
anything, it's only gonna get more expensive. Maybe if something happens, mahogany becomes meta. I know
if you,
1.5 mahogany with crystal axe is decent.
yeah. So
So
I think if you yeah, let me not touch that. Actually, we'll touch that later on. But one of the things I wanted to offer up was smithing. Like, how long have we been harping on smithing?
true, true.
Because it's just a shit skill, and
Yeah.
everyone wants to change whether or not that's like I don't think we want like a smithing Todd, but at the same time, we want some update to make it not like shopman mode.
Yeah, if we I know one thing people have proposed is something similar to sandstone, where you mine some
Yeah,
kind of like concentrated gold and you turn it in for ore. I'm almost certain if that was to happen, that the mods would make it expensive.
cheaper.
Maybe cheaper. Definitely
There's no way. I,
not zero, right? Like it's going to be more expensive than crafting is.
like what?
Certainly,
Smithing's
right?
what, six GP per XP right now for Iron Man?
I think it's 8 if you do Ultimate Iron Man method to get max rates.
Oh,
I think
is it
that's
more?
well, I think that's buying out, which I believe
Oh,
if you want to get max rates, you basically just have to buy out the
yeah.
the worlds.
Okay, that's fair. I guess yeah. Ultimate Iron Man is quite a bit more,
Yeah, I think it's 6 if you do
like effective.
traditional.
Okay, that's like super slow.
Yeah, it is.
It's like half the HP. I think it's 180 compared to like 300 doing the Ultimate Iron Man
I guess, and yeah, so
method.
I don't see that changing. I don't see construction changing. I don't really see fletching changing from broads. That just like being able to zero time it is so good. Even if there was like zero time magic logs, which there basically is with Warcath, like you're not gonna fletch them. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Fletch logs. Even though I think you and I have both done it. We don't have to go into that. Like,
I don't know what you're talking about. I cannot confirm nor deny.
yeah, I think the biggest thing that will change the value of GP is either Slayer becoming faster. So for some reason, maybe like better mage damage items or some kind of fundamental change to Slayer that makes it faster, or if Slayer Barrage Slayer gets nerfed. I know
Okay,
people complain. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say let me ask you though how from because you and me have a very similar Slayer task list rather,
Hmm.
and we both plan on essentially getting 600 mil magic from our fucking Slayer.
Hell yeah.
um, like what? I don't know what else is gonna change Slayer that makes it more expensive because we're already spending like we're barraging like probably 70% of our tasks.
Well, I was thinking more if Slayer got so fast. Like, this isn't going to happen quickly. This isn't like a single update that would make it so fast. But say you like were one of those people who's like, I'm going to do Slayer last because Slayer always gets devalued, and you
Okay.
come around to Slayer and it's like 150, 200k an hour. Dude, God knows what. I hope it never happens. But if you get
Like
to
you
that
you
point, you
literally
won't.
have to bin Vorkath at that
Yeah,
point.
you can't do enough Vorkath, right? Like you're going to be like, damn, I'm going to do 8k Vorkath on task by 200 mil because I'm doing who knows 200k XYZ new
Who
Slayer monsters. You know what I
Miss
mean?
Devils.
God. I think Slayer is so good right now. It's expensive to do it fast, but the skill as a whole is just so overloaded. I know I've touched on this. I think you've talked about it. And honestly,
Yeah.
maybe we should just talk about Slayer in its own video at some point and everything that goes into it.
Yeah.
But I think
I wanna make one for sure.
any change to Slayer in either direction just starts skewing GP so much because that's where all your GP comes from, right? So if it's
Yeah.
faster or slower, that pendulum swings significantly.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible how much like the whole game mode is based around Vorkath. Like people like pr- pretty much just Tiger, but Dids too. Now he's pretty much finished all his Vorkath. He's just like hunting pets for the last little bit of his Slayer XP.
Yeah,
Um, but both of them are just like sitting on mountains of cash. Like they just have a stupid amount of GP to deal with, pretty much. And like Higer just blew smithing out of the water in like a month and a half.
yeah, agreed. Yeah,
And
that was crazy what he did.
I don't know, but they you just have like an unlimited amount at your disposal, pretty much. It's insane, and not. It seems unlimited once you finish Slayer and you haven't done any of the Bibles yet, for sure. Like obviously there's a reason the 30 mil or 30k forecast is calculated because that's really what it gives you, or that's what it takes rather to pay for all your Bibles.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know because like at the same time when we say, hey, let's like we value money and we'd like to have more of it rather than less, right?
Hmm.
But at the same time, to have more of it, you're also doing more Vorkath, which also slows down Slayer for you.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because Vorkath is what, 40k an hour Slayer? No, it's
Uh,
less than that, isn't it? It's like 30.
I mean, if you're killing it in Ferox skirt Darok's body like the macro players. You're getting less than that.
Actual champion.
Yeah, something. I think I get like it's what you kill about 30 an hour. It's like 22k, 22k, like 19 to
Okay, fair.
22k depending on gear. It's not a lot of Slayer XP. So if
No.
Slayer became significantly faster, yeah, that effective rate just
Forecast
gets
is like shit.
slashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless Vorkath gets faster, but if there's something that comes out that makes Vorkath faster, that's fucked for the game in general. Like, what are you hitting on it?
Who knows, man?
Like some wild like Scythe Vorkath meta.
Dude,
I don't want
you
to think
can't
about
even
it.
Scythe is legit not even better than like a lance though.
Is it not? I saw
Like
some
it's
random
it's
guy post.
minusculely
Some random guy
minusculely
posted like
better.
a 52-second Scythe kill somewhere. I saw it. I'm like, what the fuck is that real?
It's not like incredibly better. It's like less than a DPS, I think.
Okay. Yeah, for however much it costs an hour.
And yeah, I don't know. Do they make the scythe free at that point?
I know the
Like that's
PVMers would
just a lot.
rejoice. They're asking for their blood rune, Todd.
0 XP, but 5K blood runes an hour.
So let me ask you this, Luke. I know you mentioned earlier that you don't see yourself as like a long-term player. Not necessarily
Yeah.
that you're going to quit, but just that you're not necessarily like planning extensively for the future. Do you in any way look at GP differently based on potential changes to the game? Or do you kind of just treat it as the meta as it currently is and your current goals and go from there?
I actually, and maybe this is just the fault of like my mindset, but I kind of just view it as like a short-term thing where I'm like, dude, I have like a 500 mil cash tag. This is dope. Let's just like blow it, you know? I don't know, like hookers and blow, but I don't know, dude. I just like don't have a long-term mindset to the point where I want to like save it for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like what am I gonna save it for, man? Like if I
That's our next question, Luke.
oh shit, sorry.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
No, but just the fact that I don't want to. I don't know. Even if not that I plan on like quitting or doing something else, but
Mm-hmm.
like if something were to come up or whatever, like that's 500 mil that I never got to like have fun with and throw around and blow stacks. You know.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I definitely don't bank on future updates. I know
Hmm.
Iron Man mode is just it's gonna get fucked in some way, right? Like
Yeah.
something's gonna come out that speeds up something, and maybe it'll be GP related, maybe it won't. If anything, maybe I err a little bit on the side of keeping extra GP. Like I think I maybe think, and this is gonna be a little more valuable in the future. Like I might be a little more conservative with my money, but for the most part, I don't try to predict future updates with how I play Iron Man. Not
Yeah,
because
I agree. And
I think it's efficient to do so. I think if you're set on 200 mil all and you're trying to be competitive, I think you think about that. You think about like what are people complaining about with Iron Man mode? What is Jagex most likely to do? But it doesn't see that's not a fun way to play the game for me. I
no,
don't want to put myself through that.
yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
And whether it happens to be like Slayer, so many people are just like harping on, oh, whatever, cancel like alts or like stop, change this about the Slayer meta or something like that, which would like make Slayer a lot slower kind of thing. So
Hmm.
yes, it happens to be the fact that I like Slayer and I'm like planning on doing a lot of Slayer,
Hmm.
and it's also really fast at the moment. It could be faster in the future, but if they decide to nerf it or take action on like people using alts or something like that, right?
Oh,
It could
let's
it
hope
could
not.
become slower. Let's hope not,
I'm gonna
but
go back and edit all my old tweets showing my Slayer ult, like black him out.
oh, dude, I have too many.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. It might happen, but I
No.
doubt it. It doesn't seem like they're
When are
that
they
interested.
when are they gonna let us edit tweets, man?
Yeah, no kidding, right? So I guess you already hit on this a little bit. The next question was, what do you do with extra money? You find yourself with an extra 1 bill. What are you doing with it?
On recording or off recording?
We'll assume this is all on the record. If you want to
Okay,
PM me a
okay.
different answer, go for it.
Okay. 100% I'm using it on Mahogany's. Like if I and this is weird because I'm at the point right now. Let me just check. I'm actually at the bank. I have 59 Dragon Axes.
Hmm.
I've done a shit ton of DKs. I'm pretty sure I have 200 mil wood cutting worth of Infernal Axes banked. if not like only less than 10 off, probably. I don't know exactly how many. I'm pretty sure it was like high 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like I would straight up go out of my way to get a crystal tool seed, which I plan on getting anyways. But like I would get another one if I wanted to do like wood cutting, and I would do mahoganies instead of teaks,
Mm-hmm.
because I know mahoganies are trash without the um, crystal axe.
They're more fun.
Dude, they're just more fun overall. Like I think I haven't actually tried wood cutting them, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it's much different than teaks, to be honest. And it's probably even more enjoyable because you spend more time at the actual
Yeah, yeah,
like
it is.
trees instead of running all the time.
The less times you interact with an interface for your house, the better.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, side note, you know what I wish they would add?
Mm-hmm.
I wish you could have entity hider but select NPCs.
I've talked about that before. Are you talking about the squirrels?
Yes, dude.
Yeah, tell me about
But
it.
you have to interact with the fucking boat guy, the barge foreman or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, them. Yeah, and your butler. Actually, I don't know if you ever have to talk with the butler directly. I think you just the dialogue pops up with call him. But yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
because if he
fantastic.
interacts with you, he like entity hider gets overwritten, or I don't know what to say,
Yeah, I know.
overruled, whatever. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah. So
But yeah.
yeah, I
Anyways,
do. I do think I'm kind of in the same boat. I think I'll use a little extra on Slayer because it's fun
yeah.
doing barrage tasks is fun. Using the ult is fun. Doing melee necreals in the Slayer Tower is not fun, and
Mm-hmm.
I value having fun in the game. I do think in general though it's really smart to leave construction for the last viable. I think fletching is probably the safest. I don't think the fletching meta is going to change.
No.
It seems really unlikely. Smithing maybe. I think smithing is at risk. But the thing with smithing is having extra money doesn't help you with it,
No.
really. So if you had smithing and construction as your last two viables to do, I'd probably still do smithing first. Having
100%.
leaving construction for last and being like, if I get to this point and I have extra money, I'm doing mahoganies. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I think that's the way to
Also,
do it.
side note, I keep going off on tangents, but it's just giving me ideas. Why doesn't everyone have a higher construction rank, man? I promise you, those 40k teaks that I have left to go through that I told you about.
Hmm.
Because I just finished doing all my mahoganies. We were talking about this before we put on the recording. But I have like 40k or so teak planks to go through worth of myth capes.
Hmm.
But I have never chopped a single mahogany in my life, dude. Every single one of those mahoganies you saw that I launched here, and I launched in like the bingo like a year ago.
Yeah.
Every single one of those came from Kingdom, dude.
You get
Why
so
doesn't
much from Kingdom. People must just be sitting on like 100k mahoganies, right?
I? This is what I'm asking myself, dude. Why are we like so high up on like you're rank 4, I
Yeah.
think,
Some
for con. I'm like 6 or 7 now because I'm like 45 mil,
we're gonna be
or
holding
sorry,
hand.
40
Are we
mil.
gonna
But
hold hands on the high scores?
dude,
Maybe.
we might mayhaps.
No, I mean
But
that's a
yeah, I
good
don't know.
point. You get like
It's
a what,
a good
11
question.
mil a year, something like that. You get a ridiculous
Yeah,
amount from Kingdom, and it's fast.
I think it's more than that. Like 11 mil might be lowballing it even.
I guess maybe my perception is skewed. Maybe people do less Warcath than I think. I feel like everybody I talk to does a lot of Warcath. Maybe people just don't have the money sitting around. I don't
It's
know.
weird, or people be spending their Mahogany Kingdom on 10 herb and not 10 construction because that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, this is
Like
a PSA to all Ironman. If you have 10 on herb but not
you
construction,
are doing
yeah,
something wrong.
yeah, reconsider what you're doing.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
No,
I
that's a
just
good
find it
point.
weird, dude. I'm just like, man, like I feel good that I'm like so high in construction, and I'm like, dude, I put like zero effort into construction.
Because it was a really low time investment
Yeah.
skill. Like it sucked. Like cutting the trees for the planks and then doing all the plank making mostly myth hangers. I did not enjoy it, but it wasn't a lot of time. It took me like 70
No.
hours for 50 mil, maybe.
Yeah.
Like it was fast. And yeah, nobody's done it. What have people done? People haven't done smithing either. Is everybody just dumping their money into fletching?
Dude, I swear to God, the whole game mode is just PVMers who want like blood runes. It comes back to blood packs, man.
I'm curious to see. I feel like this is again a side tangent, but it's a point that I've been thinking about. It seems like in the last like year, maybe year and a half, we've had a lot more like traditional skillers getting up there in the Ironman ranks. I feel like a while back it was not dominated by strictly skillers.
It was zoners, bro.
It was yeah, it was zoners, it was PVMers, it was people like
Dude, you remember
whoever
when
had done fire
Curtis
making.
was like Curtis was top 10 for like 3 years,
I
4 years? I don't.
yeah, I mean yeah, and that's fair. It used to just be if you played a lot, you got front page. Like that's just what the Ironman high scores
Not the
was.
case anymore.
I'm curious to see like what the new generation of players are doing with their money. Because maybe people will go after construction because it is fast. If you
Hmm.
care about ranks, construction is a really good skill to do. You get like what 30 something K a day from
Yeah,
Kingdom and it's almost no time to use it. It's good.
but to support your point, the longer you wait on it, the longer you have zero time mahoganies, which is just straight up good.
That is true. You might not want to finish it.
Like if macro efficient, you leave like you said, you can kind of weigh your GP situation, and if you
Hmm.
have a shit ton of mahoganies, which you will anyways if you leave construction for last, depending on whatever how long it takes you.
Hmm.
Say you finish up. I don't know if this is overestimating it or not, but say you wind up you finish 200 mil all minus construction,
Hmm.
you have 100 mil banked in mahoganies.
I'm erect.
Like, yeah, dude. Imagine 100 mil worth of mahoganies, and you're just sitting there making tables for 100 mil, and you can decide whether to do more mahoganies with a crystal axe because you have a shit ton of GP, or maybe you're lacking on GP
Yeah, and
and you have to cheeks.
I use the word realistic loosely here because we're talking about 200 mil on an Ironman, which
Yeah,
in itself is not that realistic.
for
It is
sure.
very realistic for people who are going for long term skilling to get the vast majority of their construction through Kingdom. Wouldn't you agree? Like, even if you're, say, doing like 3K years, like, you're going to be
Yeah,
playing this game
totally.
for 7 or 8 years for 200 mil all.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
think
so much of your construction to
real
zero time.
seriously, a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a good point. Maybe yeah, maybe doing like 50, 100 mil, something like that, getting some fast XP, knocking out some of it so you don't hate yourself doing 200 mil at once is the way to go. But you definitely don't want to
200 mil
finish the
hangers,
skill. Imagine. I feel bad for Tails. Like, he got the perm rank
tails,
once,
dude.
so, I mean, that's a flex, but God. Respect to him. I would not have kept doing that.
Yeah, huge respect for them, man.
Yeah. So,
Anyways, I was gonna make a side point before
yeah.
we get too off track as well. What else do I want to do with my extra money as well? Like I said, mahogany is probably like one of the biggest things that I'll do.
Hmm.
We mentioned Slayer because we'll be doing a little bit of an extra like mage focused. I think yeah, we're probably both taking it to the extreme to the point where like I don't know, we're barraging Velds, we're barraging Tazars, we're barraging like all the kind of weird. Oh, Abbey Demons too. Do you extend Abbey Demons, by the way?
No, you're weird for
Dude,
doing that.
I,
They're
I
not
extend
fun.
slaughter them, dude. I killed like 350 per task.
You have to hop like 15 worlds to find a spot. You get crashed by
Dude, you
Ooptism.
don't though. Okay, legit. I will stand at the bank like fletching or crafting gems or something, and go on my ult and just like befriend the first noob with one empty world there. I'll be like, "Hey man, big respect, nice account. Yo, do you mind hopping?" And literally, I promise you, like half the time, 50% of the time, it works. They'll just be like, "Yo." Well, what I'll do is I'll scout like another world, and I'll be like, "Yo, this world is free. Do you mind hopping?" And planning on like barraging them. He's like, "Yeah, man, that's awesome. Thanks for complimenting my account."
I mean,
You should
it's
try it,
not the
dude.
worst thing to do. What I disliked about it so much was that I was almost always like, I don't like skills where if I look up or like if I do anything else for like 10 seconds, it just goes to shit. Like
Okay,
I
true.
look
Abbey
up and
Demons is one of those
I'm
tasks.
barraging like a single Abbey off in the middle of nowhere because I got teleported 6 times.
Bro, you ever gotten to the point where you're like barraging a steel dragon because you fucked up that bad?
No, thankfully not. I mean, you
I've been
get
put to
dragged.
like the far corner. I'm like, if this steel dragon was any closer, I'd catch him with the lip of my barrage.
I do sometimes. You know that one Abbey that wanders up into the Steel Dragon Room gets stuck.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, I do get dragged up there sometimes. God, I don't. I
I
do
will.
not miss that task.
Okay, you're gonna think I'm a freak, but I started bringing claws in the ult so I can kill that thing.
Jesus, Luke. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not good. It sounds good.
Dude, I got tired taking off the Justice Char and the Van Braces to fucking trident it to death while my main barrage just one Abby Demon.
Yeah, that was actually the worst. We need a new
But
multi Abby's room, please, before I come back to Slayer.
20 in one room.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, like a Kurask room, but filled with Abby Demons.
Yeah.
That'd be dope. But yeah, no, like that. That is one of the tasks that gives you like legit no return, pretty much. Aside from, I guess
A little
whips.
prayer. Whips are nice.
Whips is actually one of those things that could get launched to, uh, or like if you plan on doing little to no PVM.
Hmm.
Those can get straight up launched to Death Scoffer actually.
Yeah, you're gonna. I paid for Revenants exclusively with whips and occult necklaces.
Did you actually?
I dropped like 40 something whips, like 30 or 40 occults, something like that. This was back when it was cheaper. I've seen the prices now; they're wild. I
Oh, they're
I I,
extortionate.
I paid like 80 mil or something for 2 weeks. It was not a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I caught like the tail end of that. I think for mine, I paid my first week was 100, and then my second, third, fourth, and fifth week, I did 5 weeks. Sorry, five. I did 5 payments. I did 10 weeks of revs.
Did you seriously? How did you not burn out? I was burned after 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was pretty. Kind of trickled off towards the end, but anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think I paid like 115 mil, but it's like 150 or so.
Yeah, that was my actually. I'm getting so off track, but I'm just embracing it now. The value of whips, like them being so basically like truly zero time, right? For both of
Yeah.
us, that was the biggest reason I never did Tob. I remember when Tob first came out, all the people who were going to do a lot of Slayer and Ironman were like, "Yeah, I'm getting Rapier and a Vernic." Like that's just what they
Hmm.
went for. But it's like, "Yeah, I'm doing a lot of melee Slayer." Not only do I not do a lot of melee Slayer, but I have infinite tens. So like Dark Beasts. Is there anything else we
True,
melee?
actually.
I can't name another task. Like Dagonoths, if I was making food or something, I'd bring out the tent. But like either going for Saldor or Rapier just for is it even a max hit? I don't know if it is. Maybe some setups.
Over a tent, it
Yeah.
is. It's a one max if you use it on aggressive, like for training strength.
Okay. Yeah, like that.
Uh,
And
yeah.
it's like 3 or 4 over regular whip though, right?
I think it's two occasionally. Like it can be three
Okay. Yeah, that
over
was
regular whip.
that's what killed my motivation to get a Rapier. I was like, yeah, I'm using tentacles everywhere.
Yeah,
Don't
dude.
care.
Like if I hadn't planned to do Theater Blood otherwise, 100% just do Abbey Demons and you're good. Like you skip the whole need for it.
Yeah.
But Slayer changed a lot since then, since the Rapier came out. Do you remember how
Yeah.
hyped everyone like just going back to your like first thoughts on everyone freaking out about a Rapier?
Hmm.
Do you remember how hyped everyone was to have a Rapier and say like, "Yo, huge buff to Iron Man Slayer" because everyone melee shit.
I do. I remember people like dropping everything they were doing and going to do top just for those 2 items.
Yeah,
Like
for
it was
Rapier
huge.
and
Like that's all
Vernic.
people talked about. Nobody cared about Sang. Like
And then
people.
someone got it and they were like, "Wait, what do I actually use it for?"
Yeah. No. Like I think maybe the like the Chambers nerds always knew how good it was for helping with no preps, but like most people do not value Sang. At least most people
No.
I talk to, and everybody regarded Scythe as just being too expensive to justify. And even still, isn't it
Yeah.
mostly a pet hunter item? I'm not a PVMer, so I'm not certain.
Yeah, so that was my next point to what else I'm gonna use. Dude, we are so sidetracked. Holy shit, this is a ramble and a half. But um, yeah, my other thing is gonna be blowing a ton of money on blood runes for pet hunting. Probably that's kind of my plan after I get top page to
Hmm.
do some more PVM and some pet hunts, which I'll be using like scythe that pretty much just to get like who cares fastest kills pretty much. Like I said, I have a ton. I have like a 500 mil cash stack right now, and I think I have like probably about 350 to 400 mil more worth of alks. So like I have a shit ton of money pretty much to blow on blood runes.
What pets are you going for?
All pets, bro.
Really? There's actually
I
like a
mean,
somewhat achievable goal, at least compared to 200 mil all. It's what probably like
yeah, for sure.
6,000 hours, ballpark.
Yeah, something like that. It probably well, it's probably closer to 6 or 7,000 because I plan on doing some fairly non-traditional court methods. Let's just say that, but
I do know. I'm aware.
uh,
You
but yeah, I think it's a pretty long grind regardless, but nowhere close to tuner
you
mill.
can be getting a little 2.5 solitary EHP an hour.
Yeah, dude. Pog champ.
But, yeah. So I guess the last thing I had written, I know we have 1 or 2 points from you later. So we've talked about what you want, you would use excess money on. Is there anything you do to make money off meta?
I think the thing that goes without saying that we can't go a money related topic without saying is revs, obviously.
We did both do revs. Why did you do revs? Might have been a different reason than me.
Okay, so I had this like distorted fantasy. I don't know if I ever told you actually, but I actually planned to go for tuner mill construction.
Oh, did you really? I did not
At
know
one
that.
point, yeah. It was like my post. You're gonna laugh, but this is like the first Olympus bingo that I did
Hmm.
was like March of last year, so like a year and a couple months ago, and I dropped like 15 mil construction or something like that.
Okay. I do
It
remember
was like,
you had 30 mil like randomly. I
yeah,
do remember that.
dude,
Yeah.
literally kingdom, bro. I'm telling you, I haven't chopped a single mahogany in this game except for that diary for Corinne. I swear to God.
God.
uh, but yeah, like I just straight up dropped like 15 mil construction. I was like, dude, this skill is awesome. What the hell? Like, it was zero time, bro. I dropped
It
like
was, yeah.
15 mil construction. So I was like, I don't know. Anyways, I still do respect the skill. I actually hold it in pretty high regard. Um, like in terms of like a tier list, if you want to call it that.
Hmm.
But so anyways, I kind of planned to go for like tournament construction temporarily, or that was my thought
Hmm.
process kind of thing. So what I did was obviously you got to come up with a way to pay for the money, and the efficient Ironman method is obviously doing like 1.5 tick teaks,
Hmm.
which was the other reason that I was like, fuck this. Um, when I figured out I had to do teaks instead of mahoganies.
Is that when you started doing the 2 tick teaks on Apatol with the ult?
Yeah,
That's a
I
sick
did.
method, by the way. I did a lot of that.
It's so nice, dude. I prefer it quite a bit over the 1.5 tick teaks. I still do 1.5 tick teaks. It's just like you don't have to set up an alt. You can kind of just like sweat while listening to music. You don't have to listen to like or worry about multiple screens or anything. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
um, but at the same time, yeah. So my whole thought process behind that was okay to do these efficient methods. You actually need the GP kind of up front to make the planks,
Hmm.
um, and you need like a reserve after you've made all the planks for tuner mill of like it's like 75 or 76 mil or something like that to actually use the planks.
Hmm.
Um, just like butler costs, which is actually kind of wild. Like just thinking that you're gonna spend like straight up 80 mil to your butler getting General Con.
Yeah,
Like
that is a little wild to think about.
it's pretty wild.
I did not account
Um,
for how much I was going to spend, even just getting 50 mil. How often I had to
yeah,
refill that damn thing. I wish you could put more than 3 mil in so I didn't have to think about it all the time.
yeah. Like even like I just used all my mahoganies. I think I spent. Uh, I think it was like 5 mil or something like that.
That sounds
Just
about
using
right. Yeah.
just using my mahoganies that I had like close to 100k mahoganies. So yeah, it was pretty incredible. But anyways, more off topic. We're horrible.
Nah,
Uh,
it is what it is. It's a ramble.
it's a ramble. That's what it is. Anyways, so needing the GP up front, like what are your two options of getting GP on an Ironman? You go and you do a shitload of Orcath,
Hmm.
which is either you do it on Slayer task or you're an idiot and you do it off task, which is like effectively really bad GP an hour
We don't
because it.
acknowledge people who do off task workouts.
Let's just not talk about me doing that for maxing, but
If you're doing it for like bingo, fine. Outside of
yeah.
that, don't do it off task, kids.
Like I mean, I did do can't remember how many, maybe like 600, 700 kills or something like that off task for maxing and getting 99 prayer.
Hmm.
But it was I don't know, just fun to do in PVM for it. I did like a bunch of dag kings too,
Yeah.
but Yeah, so you're basically your two options are to do Vorkath on task, which is just like a huge time investment. Um, and the way we slay, you already need capital to actually slay.
Yeah,
So it's weird.
exactly.
To get money, you actually need a shit ton of money, just the way we happen to slay. So the only real other option to get quick money, which is basically the only way to get quick money on an iron, is pretty much revs. So you pay the upfront cost of whatever 150 mil that it is right now,
Yeah,
and
it's
you just
God,
get
it's so
to
expensive.
blow revs out of the water for 2 weeks, pretty much.
Yeah.
Um, and it depends. Like, I mean, it doesn't really matter about like the state of revs, but obviously, if you get a good 2 weeks kind of thing where it's pretty quiet, there's like less room, or sorry, there's more room for PVMers in the cave kind of thing, and
Hmm.
you just get a shitload of kills.
Yeah, doing like 3 man and 2 man worlds.
Yeah, like you can make a stupid amount of money, dude. Like I did some calcs when I was there, and as an Iron Man, just taking into the account like alkables, totem pieces, or sorry, totems like the GP drops or whatever,
Hmm.
uh, and like the alkables. And I was also calculating alking bracelets because bracelets are like 42k or 46k or something like that each
Hmm.
alk,
Yeah, they're a
which is
lot.
pretty crazy. But you could make legitimately in some of the best spots, legitimately 10 mil an hour, just straight up GP.
I believe it. Yeah.
And obviously, you need ideal conditions. No one's going to hit you. Um, basically an empty world kind of thing to get the best revs. But at the same time, dude, this 10 mil an hour. Are you joking?
Yeah, if you do it like dead hours and it's not the summer, you can definitely get that.
Yeah.
Like I
So
literally went nocturnal when I did revs. I
well,
think
you have to.
I did it at a fairly popular point because I'm pretty sure it was like late summer, so you might have still had kids off school. But yeah, I was like, I'd get home from work, immediately sleep, wake up at like midnight, do revs till 7 a.m., go to work. Did that for 2 weeks. Actually, it was miserable. I hated myself the whole time, but I got a lot of money at revs.
Yeah, you just have to. I don't know. There's no real way around it if you chose that way kind of thing. But
Yeah, I
it was
was.
worth it. Like I'm happy. I,
I'm still glad I did it. I was personally, I really wanted to get a Ring of the Gods for Barrage Slayer. So I was like, I know Rebs is like decent. It'll let me be a little more greedy with Slayer. So I'm like, all right, I'll do this. Hopefully, I get the mace. I'll have some extra money. Did I don't want to just whine about RNG. Didn't get the mace. Didn't get the bow. I only got a scepter and
oh
a
shit.
lot of kills. So the upside of that was I got to out every one of my bracelets because I have no use for ether. Which
True. Okay.
I actually went back recently. I was trying to do a little PKing on the iron. I didn't have a bracelet to wear, which was a
Oh my
problem.
god.
We were trying to do a little dark bowing in the caves as you do. Yeah, couldn't do it.
You got dark mode by the imp.
No, couldn't hop at all with my team. Kept
That's
getting hit.
horrible.
Yeah, but that's why I did it. And then so yeah, didn't get the mace, but having the extra money just for Slayer, be greedy with it. So fun.
Yeah,
I
that's the plan.
don't regret it at all.
No, me neither. It just kind of gave the whole capital of it, and even though I didn't decide to go for like 200 mil construction, um, it just gave me the extra, like we said, buffer
Hmm.
for being able to do all these different things. It pretty much opened the door for me to be able to use my scythe that I got. Like, dude, can you imagine just getting? It's like these Iron Men who get scythes at like 10 KC on their like 100 combat.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I don't know.
useless. It's
Bro,
like
what are you gonna do with it?
all it is a flex. What? Yeah, nobody can afford that. I know.
It's pretty
I
ridiculous.
won't name names, but one of my buddies like recently he got a really undeserved scythe. Got it like 80 KC or something. And like the next day he posts a picture and he's doing like uncharged scythe at Cerberus. It's like worse DPS than a whip or something.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah, a
Scythe
lot of
is
it's a flex. I
wild
mean,
how expensive that is, especially for how little time it actually saves most places.
yeah. Like, having said that, cast me scything Dark Beast, bro. I'm just saying.
Honestly, I've joked around. If I got a scythe at top, literally all it would be was is a Calphite and Dark Beast killer. I have no other use for that.
Would you actually unlock Calphites if you got a scythe?
I might do a little KQ. I really enjoyed
True.
KQ. I had done like 1200 or something. Never got pet. This was like back when it was arguably decent, like
It was like
2017 or
it was like
something.
0.9 or 0.95 EHP, like, or efficiency rather.
Yeah, and that was like
Good enough.
before I was actually aware of efficiency, and I just knew like I think I might have saw like Vatty's video where it's like KQ is decent. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll take this video at its word. I have no
Wasn't
clue how to
wasn't
calculate this.
wasn't his video legitimately called "The KQ is decent"?
It
Like
might it might have actually
it was
been.
like an ironic title like that.
Let me look it up real quick. KQ is decent.
Or like KQ isn't bad or something like that. I forget what it was. I just kind of remember something like that. But no, I totally get
Yeah,
you.
there it is. KQ spreadsheet. KQ is not bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly it. But yeah, that's what I was doing. I wouldn't mind going back if I had a scythe. That's about it.
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, basically the uh the sites would be the other thing. But going back to revs, honestly, if you ever need like a short term money thing, like revs are a really really good option. For pretty much most of the PVMers go there
Yeah.
for site charges and sang charges, pretty much.
There was that really brief window where if you were a talented PKer, you could make a lot of money to fund your scythe. But the window is closed now, unfortunately.
Ah, yes,
You were
that was
talented. I
a
think you and I were both talented
we
PKers
were
in a way.
talented individuals. Having said that, I made no GP off of that, but I profited in other areas
Yeah.
like farming
Yeah. No. No.
and
No
crystal
GP
cards.
made. Agreed.
No GP. I actually didn't make a single GP out of
Actually, I lost GP killing targets with magic.
that. True. Did you lose an emblem ever?
I lost a max game at the what is the one?
Oh
The
my
Rogue's
god,
Castle, the one in Multi. Dude,
that's
I
garbage.
just took the obelisk there, no thought at all. Just
Actually,
instantly died.
do you want to talk about that? Like that's a actually valid like GP thing that was happened in the past. Obviously not possible anymore, but
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I mean that we could talk specifically about Bounty Hunter too, but even in a more general sense, like these random updates like that Jagex does, where you can briefly abuse it for just like ungodly amount of resources, especially early on in an Ironman. Like
yeah,
it was like arguably efficient to do for you and I, right? Like it wasn't
yeah.
wildly good, but like there were
But dude,
people.
imagine an early Iron Man. Like you straight
Yeah,
up walk into early Iron Man mode with 50 mil. Like, bro, you're balling.
yeah, people were walking away with like several 100,000 rune arrows to Alk.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like I think that's what the low levels did because they actually wanted Alks at that point, whereas like higher levels just did like Dragon
Bro, but
Battle Axes. I
why
think
Alcon? Why Alcon you can shoot?
that's a good point. Magic is for losers. Catch me chinning range or chinning
Holy
Slayer.
shit.
When are we doing that by the way? When are you going back to Slayer?
After top page, bro, in a week.
We gotta do a little Slayer testing.
We will. Don't worry. But yeah, they having that I kind of agree to that. And maybe this probably deserves its own video, so we won't go too deep into it, but like the fact that um I saw some people talking on Twitter about this, how whenever Jagex like releases a new update, like you said, there's always like this need or this feeling that you need to abuse it.
Mm-hmm.
The example right now being Sepulcher
Oh, exactly.
before
Yeah,
before
yeah.
some I don't know, like some HLC bomb goes off and everyone decides to just like complain about it until it gets nerfed, pretty much,
Yeah,
which probably does deserve to be nerfed, but at the same time, like you feel like you need to abuse it, and there's a bunch of people doing strictly Sepulcher pretty much to like take advantage of it as much as they can.
in a general sense, I've never been a big fan of. I'm not one to jump on new updates quickly. I usually like to let things settle, like see how good it is, see what the actual long term rates are. Are you typically somebody who like will do something new and do a lot of it while it's good?
Yeah, like I mean I did a ton of Sepulcher on release, but it kind of didn't really work with my goal of getting top page because
Mm-hmm.
agility is slow. But
Exactly.
um, if it like coincides with kind of what I want to do, yes, usually I'll jump onto it and I'll do it, especially if I'm enjoying it. Like Sepulcher is actually fun update.
I've
I
heard
don't know if
that.
you
I've
I don't know how
barely
much you've
done
done
it.
of it.
I did maybe like 2 hours. That's it.
It's so frustrating when you start, but if you like push past the first like 4, 5, 6 hours kind of that you do, it like literally becomes enjoyable once you start getting like a couple completions under your belt, and you're like, dude, this is actually easy.
Yeah, I'm really am looking forward to getting to it. I'm not sure when I'll get to agility. I wouldn't mind having some some sand fuse for black chins. Save me an inventory spot. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
go for
that's the
some of
other
those.
thing.
Do you get
It
those
kind
from
of
the
gives
final
you.
chest, or are those only from the like mid chest that you're not supposed to loot?
Oh, the final chest actually gives you a decent. Oh, actually, this kind of does fit nicely. Sepulcher actually added like straight up an agility GP method. It's weird. It gives you whatever. It gives you like super high agility. Like what people are saying, like what 85k EHP right now. Even though
I think
people
that's what
keep.
the main set it at. Yeah.
So let's use 85k. Even though you can get over that, it's something like 250 to 300k an hour, like GP for irons.
That's wild.
Yeah,
For how much time you're going to spend there.
yeah.
So that's like what, like
As a
600,
zero,
700 mil, something like that? For
yeah, as
200
a
mil?
zero time method.
That's wild. What is it mostly in? Like what items? Is it mostly blood runes?
Yeah, it's in runes mostly.
Oh,
Blood runes is a big one, which will save so much for Slayer.
yeah.
Like
Convenience
it,
too. Like the less you have to spend, less time you have to
100.
spend at the shop.
Oh, dude, 100%. Like just straight up brain wise. Like how many brain cells do you lose buying blood runes?
And you and I are both like responsible young men working day jobs, so we can't buy at dead hours. Like coming home from work at 5 p.m. and trying to buy blood runes. I'm getting
Holy
PTSD
shit.
thinking about it.
Bro, I straight up transitioned. I made the switch. Hashtag make the switch to Wildy.
Oh,
Just
did you
buy.
actually? How many do you
Yeah,
buy?
500. Or
Oh, do
sorry,
you?
no, 250, sorry.
Okay, how much is it compared to if you only do
It's the
250?
exact same. It's
Oh, is it
like
really?
it's like like if you spend 50 mil, I think you're spending like 50 mil and 500k or something. There's like hardly a difference.
Hmm. That's actually really good
Eh,
to know. I might do
Yeah,
that. I know
it's
people have done that. I
straight
always
up
thought it
worth
was
a headache.
bad though.
No, it's straight up the same. I don't even know what the GP per different. You know what? Let me find this actually.
Go buy some quick runes. Do a little test.
No, there's
Live on
a
video.
we were looking it up in the skilling Discord because some dude randomly decided to like do all the calcs and send them to us.
Hmm.
I can't find it now, but anyways, it's pretty much like a super small difference basically to buy them from the Wildy place, and you just bring like whatever 10, 20 mil at a time kind of thing, and like a bulwark tank setup,
Hmm.
and you're Gucci
Oh yeah, I mean you're basically invincible. I'm pretty sure you can teleport with the mage even if you're teleblocked, right?
if you're teleblocked, which
Yeah,
is
so you're out. Just don't get rushed.
yeah, super weird. Yeah, it's not a thing. The only annoying part is the skeletons, PJ. But
Oh, true.
there's one skeleton that wanders in the range, and I've only hit it once. And if I ever get hit by the skeleton, I just bring broads and I fletch while I wait for the 10 seconds.
God, you're a nerd.
Seriously.
What? All
But
right.
yeah, it makes it pretty. With the blood runes to like wrap up the sepulchre thing, it saves a ton of time with other things like that. Plus the other passive runes you get like natures and cosmics and a couple I think souls too.
Nature's is
So
really convenient. Yeah, that's good.
overall it's pretty good. But yeah, I think we've exhausted most of the time
Yeah,
rambling.
I guess yeah. Last thing I'll ask, which actually we were supposed to open with, but I forgot. I didn't write it down. Was I guess what exactly are you working on right now in game? Like what's going on? Last month or so. What are your short term goals?
I did mention it somewhere in here, but I'm just pretty much at the tail end of finishing top page. I have like a week left before I actually let me check high scores. I just think I got my second last rank today. I think I got rank 26 today.
Oh, did you? Congratulations.
Yeah, I was planning on passing Smithy, but Smithy started playing again.
I'm glad he's
Um,
back.
yeah, it's nice to see him back actually. So he's on like a 14 mil week.
Oh,
Yeah, I
jeez.
passed bike trail today. PogChamp.
Is he still playing?
Yeah, he's doing mining now.
Oh, is he? Good for him.
Yeah,
I was
I don't
glad he
know
came back
what he's
because of
doing.
lockdown. Wasn't he gone for like a year?
Yeah, he burned for quite a while, but he moved to Solace, so I think he's getting the main
Doing a little main.
mindset,
Yeah, a little main EHP.
little main HP with
Huh,
the. So yeah, I think he was doing crafting and mining pretty much, so
good for him.
pretty good. But
And
anyways, I have like one more rank to get pretty much, which is like 14 mil ahead. So that'll be like pretty much a week. I think I should be able to catch that.
Nice.
So yeah, that's short term, and then after, like I said, we'll probably go back to pet hunting and doing a little bit of PVM. So what about you?
I've
You're
been
finishing 50 mil base?
slowly. It's gonna be a little while. I'm actually the next like 6 weeks or so. I'm gonna be well. I'm traveling for a couple weeks. I'm going on vacation. I'm gonna go visit my family, and then I have to move because I'm starting school in August. So I really doubt I'm gonna be playing all that much the next
Yeah,
like
fair.
month and a half. When I'm on, I'm either making wines or doing Inferno right now.
Gotcha.
I've been enjoying Inferno so far. I'm not that far into it. I'm only like day 3 or 4. Might burn
Yeah,
out, so
just
we'll
wait.
see.
Just wait.
Yeah, if I'm on like 10th Zuck or something and I don't have it, we'll see if I keep going. I might burn out of it again, but
Yeah,
that's what I've been working on right now. Just a lot of IRL shit going on, so we'll make the
that's
gains
fair.
where I can.
Do you think you'll be able to play like a significant portion less when you start school again?
We'll have to see. I have a couple. I think about like 30 or 40% of my classes will be online, just because there's restrictions that have been put in place as far as like how many people you can have in a classroom now, and like just various lockdown things like that. So
Gotcha.
I'm gonna be sitting around. I've kind of made it a point, uh, like just to put RS on the back burner. Definitely for the least first like month or two. I'm
Yeah,
I
totally.
want to like just like feel free like when I'm getting to know new people. Like if I want to go out or something like in a situation I normally wouldn't. I want to just take those opportunities when I have them. And if like
Yeah,
if
for sure.
winter comes or like spring comes around and I'm still like finding myself at home a lot doing schoolwork or whatever, maybe I'll start with some more games. But I expect the next few months to be pretty quiet for me.
That's fair.
So I'll try to stay active, like on Discord and whatnot, talk to people, help out with
Yeah.
the methods Discord and stuff like that. But I doubt I'm going to be
You do.
playing all that much.
You're good at balancing your time management and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean,
As far as I can tell. So
I try to. I mean, right now I'm just playing this stupid free to play account because I was burnt of Inferno. So hopefully I quit this account soon. I don't want to be like checking in 6 months and being like, yeah, guys, I'm 1,300 total on the free to play ultimate.
still don't have Infernal Cave.
Yeah, still no Inferno capes, no XP gained on the main. Just a lot of mage and range XP.
Rough times, man. You'll get it. Don't worry.
Yeah, so that's what's up. That's what's going on with me. Hopefully some more rambles to come. You and I might do another one in the future. I know we've talked about a couple different topics we might talk about.
I had fun with this one though. This was actually more enjoyable than I thought.
Yeah, we got off topic, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was fun shooting the shit with you about this. So.
Just like if there's like a precedent to set, just don't expect us to stick to the fucking topic.
Yeah, no
If we
kid.
do future rambles, holy shit.
No kidding. And I think I'm gonna be uploading this one. Maybe we'll swap for the next one. You can upload the next one or something like that.
For sure, yeah, that sounds like a plan.
You and I are both trying to grow our like 80 subscriber YouTube channels.
I think I have like 70, so you blew by me, bro. I was a free rank to your YouTube channel.
We gotta have like the same people, right? Like there's not
Yeah,
there's
like all
not
the
that
same
many
followers.
people subscribing to these Ironman YouTube channels.
Dude, tell your 40 fucking subscribers that you have over me to send them my way.
Hey, I'm shouting you out on Twitter. Don't worry.
Peace.
All right, that's all I got. You got anything else to add?
I don't think so. I mean, quit buying fucking blood runes.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's about it.
Go craft some blood runes, kids.
Add blood rune packs.
Especially at peak hours.
True. But yeah, that's about it.
All right, we'll call it there. Thanks, everybody.
Sounds good.